What would you do if your partner quietly detached from you? Not with a fight, not with betrayal, but with silence so cold it froze your soul. Hey friend. Welcome back to Breakup Cheater. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment with where you're watching from. I read every single one of them. Now buckle up. Because today's story is about a quiet unraveling. A marriage that ended, not with shouting or slammed doors, but with one sentence over dinner, and the heavy silence that followed. My name is Liam, and until recently I thought I had a stable marriage with my wife Isabel. It was an ordinary Wednesday evening. I got home around 7:30, the usual rush hour crawl. The moment I stepped through the door, I smelled takeout. She'd already set the table. Not with love, not like she used to, just out of habit. Robotic routine. She didn't even look up when I walked in. Just muttered, "Dinner's ready." We sat across from each other. I asked her how her day was. She said, "Fine." One-word answer. No eye contact. Halfway through the meal, she paused, set her fork down gently, wiped her mouth like she was preparing to deliver a rehearsed speech. "I need to tell you something," she said calmly, like she was reading a weather update. I looked up, glass halfway to my lips. "Okay." She took a breath. "I don't want to be intimate with you anymore." Just like that. No emotion. No build-up. No anger. Just final. Blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "I mean, from now on, I'm not interested in that part of our relationship." There it was. A sentence that turned our marriage into a formality. I asked gently, "Is this something I did? Something you've been feeling for a while?" She shrugged, casual as ever. "It's not about you, Liam. Just changed. I don't feel like being touched anymore. I'm tired of pretending." That word, pretending, stung more than I let on. Pretending. I've been going through the motions for months. I'm done. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I just nodded. I'd learned that sometimes, silence reveals more than shouting ever could. I asked her one more thing. "So this is it? Final?" She looked down at her plate. "Yes." After dinner, I cleared my plate and went upstairs alone. She didn't follow. Didn't say anything else. That night, I lay next to her in bed. She was scrolling through her phone, completely unbothered. But something inside me had turned off, like a switch flipped. And it wasn't coming back on. The next morning I made coffee like usual. I even placed her cup across the table. She took it, sipped quietly, and went right back to her phone. "No, thank you." I decided to try again, calmly. "Isabel, about last night. Can we talk?" She didn't look up. "We already did." "No," I replied. "You made a decision. That's not the same as a conversation." She finally set her phone down, her tone flat. "I told you how I feel. That should be enough. I just want to understand. If something's wrong. I'm not broken, Liam. I'm just not interested anymore. Don't make this bigger than it is." That was the moment I realized. I was married to someone who no longer wanted to connect. Physically, emotionally, or mentally. Over the next week I tried. Small efforts. I brought her favorite wine. Ordered takeout from her go-to place. Left a simple note on her pillow. "Thinking of you." Each time. Half smile. A distracted thanks. Then back to her phone. One night I suggested a weekend getaway. "Maybe a change of scenery will help us reconnect," I said. Her response. "I don't want to pretend everything's fine just because we're in a hotel." That hurt. Not because she said no, but because she didn't even consider us worth trying for. That's when it hit me. I was trying to hold together a bond she'd already severed. Then came the real shift. It was a Thursday night just before midnight. I came downstairs for water and found her sitting in the dark living room, face lit up by her phone. I didn't say anything. Just walked quietly behind her, and glanced over her shoulder. At the top of the screen. "Can't wait to see you again, babe." Froze. "You're up late," I said calmly. He jumped. "Just texting my sister." I looked at her. "Since when does your sister call you babe?" She hesitated a beat too long, then locked the screen. It's just a joke. Relax. I didn't confront her further. Not yet. I wasn't ready for that war. But now I knew the truth. I started observing more. Connecting dots. She wasn't just uninterested in me. She was giving her energy, her attention to someone else. She still asked for money though. Gas money. Hair appointments. A brochure for a Palm Springs girls' trip. It's just $300, she said one morning. That's when something inside me snapped. Not in anger, but in clarity. You don't want to touch me, talk to me, or share a life with me. But you want me to fund your vacations. She looked offended. Are you seriously going to hold money over my head? No, I said. I'm just done making deposits in an emotional bank account you closed months ago. That afternoon I canceled the joint credit card. Not to punish her, but to stop paying rent on a relationship that no longer existed. It didn't take long for her to notice. Why is the card declining at the salon? She shouted from the hallway. Because I deactivated it. You can't just make that decision without telling me. I stood up. Kind of like how you made yours. She folded her arms. This isn't the same. No, it's not, I said. You gave me a sentence over dinner. I gave you years. For the first time, Isabel looked at me like she didn't recognize me. Because the man standing in front of her wasn't bending anymore. She kept trying to pull me back into my old role. Fixer, provider, walking wallet. But I kept matching her energy. She refused to contribute emotionally. I stopped contributing financially. She stopped showing up. I stopped cleaning, cooking, covering every loose end. Eventually she asked, "Are we just roommates now?" I smiled gently. I thought that's what you wanted. One Saturday morning, she stood by the door with a duffel bag. I think I need some time away. Maybe stay at my sister's for a while. I didn't argue. Just said, "Take all the time you need." "You're not going to stop me?" she asked, looking unsure. "No, I'm not." And she left. When the door closed, I didn't feel broken. I didn't feel relief either. Felt still. Settled. I started reclaiming my space. Went back to the gym. Played records she always hated. Rearranged the house my way. Weeks passed. Then one day, a message popped up from her. "Hey, can we talk sometime?" I stared at it. Locked my phone. Set it down. Not out of bitterness. Not out of anger. But because I didn't owe her anything anymore. She made a choice. And so did I. I stopped begging. I stopped helping. And in that silence I found peace. So if someone asks what happened between me and Isabel, I won't badmouth her. I won't call her names. I'll just say, she stopped giving. I stopped helping. And in that silence, I found myself. Would you have stayed longer, hoping they'd come back? Or would you, like me, finally choose yourself? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More stories just like this, raw, real, and unfiltered, coming your way next. Until then, stay strong. And never forget, silence isn't always weakness. Sometimes it's your greatest power.